Imagine standing in front of a colossal wonder, gazing up at its majestic splendor, and feeling a surge of awe ripple through your very being. That is how it feels when you stand in front of the Great Pyramid. The question on your mind would be, how on earth did the ancient Egyptians manage to erect such a monumental structure without the aid of modern technology? It's a riddle that has perplexed historians, archaeologists, and conspiracy theorists alike for centuries. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of time to uncover the astonishing truth behind the construction of this architectural masterpiece, unraveling the mysteries of the Great Pyramid's structure and purpose. For countless millennia, the Great Pyramid has captivated the human imagination with its awe-inspiring size and magnificence, leaving observers in wonderment over the monumental task of its construction. Crafted by the hands of ancient architects, this colossal stone edifice stands as a testament to their ingenuity and skill. The passage of time and the relentless pursuit of riches have eroded the pyramid's once gleaming white casing stones, exposing the robust inner core comprised of backing stones. These weathered blocks, with their irregular spacing, present a challenge in deciphering the pyramid's construction at a mere glance. One of the most intriguing features of the Great Pyramid lies hidden within its structure. The massive chevron blocks that form a gabled ceiling above the entrance to the descending corridor have piqued the curiosity of scholars and enthusiasts alike. However, much of the original stonework has been lost to plundering, leaving us with a mystery surrounding its original purpose. Fortunately, in 2016, the Scan Pyramids research mission shed new light on this architectural enigma. Our journey begins with a brief historical overview of why the Old Kingdom Egyptians chose to design their ceilings in this unique way. We will also explore the missing stonework and the reasons behind its plundering. Rather than merely speculate about what might have existed, we will analyze all the anomalies and physical evidence to reconstruct a probable design. By establishing a solid framework for how the structure was originally built, we can then explore the likely purpose behind this intriguing design. Finally, I will present my hypothesis regarding the Scan Pyramid's north face corridor and its connection to the adjacent structure with the gabled ceiling, which is now missing. But before we delve deeper into the mysteries of the Great Pyramid, let's take a moment to consider the context. There are 4 existing pyramids that predate the Great Pyramid of Giza, and they all have internal chambers or corridors within their superstructures. These pyramids include the Pyramid of Midam, the Bent Pyramid, the Bent Pyramid Satellite Pyramid, and the Red Pyramid. While the construction order of these pyramids is still a subject of debate, what's important for our analysis is that they share a common ceiling design capable of supporting the tremendous weight of the pyramid above. This technique, known as Corbelling, involves laying successive courses of stone that overlap slightly above an empty space, gradually forming a ceiling. The genius of this approach lies in the even distribution of weight among the corbelled layers, eliminating the need for any single stone to bear an excessive load. However, Snefru, the pharaoh responsible for constructing these remarkable pyramids, was known for his innovative approach. He experimented with different types of corbelling techniques in the construction process. In some chambers, corbels were utilized on 2 sides of the ceiling, while in others, all 4 sides were adorned with these architectural elements. However, the current state of these corbels reveals a considerable variation from room to room, suggesting that this design was not without its imperfections. Corbelling challenges and efficient ceiling designs. Engineer Peter James, who oversaw the recent structural repair of Djoser and Snefru's pyramids, published a book titled Saving the Pyramids in 2018. In his book, James analyzes the challenges associated with corbelling and explains why the corbels in the Midam and Bent pyramids are in such disrepair. According to him, the corbels tend to cantilever, meaning they move laterally when subjected to excessive overhang and loads. This lateral pressure causes the corbels to collapse inward, leading to the breakage of exposed edges. Interestingly, the corbels in the Red Pyramid and the Satellite Pyramid to the Bent Pyramid are in much better condition, thanks to their level coursework. The builders of these pyramids demonstrated their awareness of and concern for the lateral pressure exerted on the corbels by placing original wooden logs as bracing near the top of the chambers. This evidence suggests that the ancient Egyptians recognized the importance of caution when working with corbels. As the pyramids grew larger and chambers expanded, it became clear that a more efficient ceiling design was necessary. Smaller overlaps and taller ceilings were required to accommodate the increasing size and weight of the structures. The ancient Egyptians sought a solution that would alleviate the issues associated with Corbelling, the enigmatic gabled ceiling and hidden corridor of the Great Pyramid. Now, let's return to the Great Pyramid and the intriguing gabled ceiling above the entrance to the descending corridor. With the knowledge gained from the predecessors of the Great Pyramid, we can speculate on its purpose and construction. Given the evidence of the chevron blocks and the corridor-like empty space detached behind them, it is possible that the gabled ceiling served a structural and functional role. It could have been designed to distribute the weight of the pyramid above and provide support for the descending corridor. The shape of the gabled ceiling could have been strategically chosen to ensure stability and prevent the collapse of the corridor. Furthermore, the missing adjacent structure that was once connected to the gabled ceiling raises even more questions. Was it a chamber, a passage, or something entirely different? While we can only speculate at this point, it is conceivable that the missing structure played a crucial role in the overall design and function of the pyramid. To truly unlock the secrets of the Scan Pyramid's north face corridor and its relationship to the gabled ceiling, further exploration is required. The use of an endoscopic camera could provide a glimpse into the hidden corridor, allowing us to see and understand its contents. Unveiling the ingenious saddle vault design in pyramid construction. Another interesting aspect of the pyramid's construction is the use of the saddle vault, a new design at the time. The saddle vault is a gabled ceiling formed by enormous chevron blocks leaning inward. The earliest known saddle vault is the partially destroyed entrance vault that sits above the descending corridor entrance of the pyramid. The next known saddle vault is the Queen's Chamber, built just 4 meters higher in elevation than the entrance vault, indicating a short time frame for their construction. The final known saddle vault in the Great Pyramid is Campbell's Chamber, which sits high above the King's Chamber and the 4 so-called relieving chambers below. It's important to note that the 4 empty spaces below Campbell's Chamber, often referred to as relieving chambers, don't actually reduce any vertical load upon the King's Chamber. In fact, their enormous flat granite ceilings add to the vertical load upon the King's Chamber. It is only the saddle vault of Campbell's Chamber that redirects the massive weight of the pyramid from above. Additionally, the pyramids in the 4th dynasty all kept their internal corridors no wider than 105 centimeters, equal to 2 royal cubits. Narrow corridors could have flat lintel ceilings that would support the weight from above without collapse, simplifying construction. Examining the entrance vault, one immediately notes the oversized lintel block covering the entrance to the descending corridor, about 1 meter taller than the other lintels covering 4th dynasty pyramid entrances. Behind the oversized lintel block, there are 2 even taller lintels or 2 stacks of stacked lintels, adding an excessive amount of vertical reinforcement above the corridor entrance. However, the Great Pyramid's lintels at the entrance only bear the weight directly above them, indicating that the entrance doesn't need any more vertical support than smaller pyramids before and after it. Flinders, Petrie's observations, and the purpose of the entrance vault in the Great Pyramid. Now, let's turn our attention to Flinders, Petrie's observations and measurements, which are highly regarded in the field of Egyptology. Petrie's findings align with the physical evidence we can observe today. For instance, when examining the broken layer 2 chevron, we notice that it is taller than the bottom layer 1 chevron behind it. The trajectory of its upper face leads us to a point about 70 inches below the apex of the upper layer 1 chevrons. Furthermore, Petrie's description of layer 3 leaning slightly inward against layer 2 is supported by visual evidence. It's intriguing to consider the purpose of the entrance vault and its configuration. Contrary to the typical design in other 4th dynasty pyramids, the chevrons in the entrance vault are set together in perfectly matched pairs. This arrangement indicates that the entrance vault was not intended to withstand heavy vertical loads. Moreover, the oversized lintels below the entrance vault are already larger than necessary to support the vertical load at the outer layer of the pyramid. So, if the entrance vault was not designed for vertical load resistance, what was its purpose? One hypothesis suggests that the ancient Egyptians used the entrance vault as a testing tool to assess the tolerance level of a saddle vault for lateral stress and possibly some vertical tolerance as well. The Scan Pyramids research mission has provided valuable evidence, including muon scans, which demonstrates the existence of an empty corridor-like space behind the layer 1 chevron. This corridor, accessible through the north face corridor, could allow for observations and measurements of the entrance vault after it was enclosed by masonry. The purpose of the corridor and its relationship to the entrance vault remains subject to speculation. It is uncertain whether the corridor penetrates beneath the layer 1 chevron. If it does, it could serve as a passage for inspecting the backside of layer 1 and measuring any lateral movement imposed on it by layers 3, 4, and 5. Alternatively, even if the corridor does not provide access to the space under the layer 1 chevron, it could still facilitate the observation of lateral stresses exerted on them. Considering the unique design and purpose of the entrance vault, it becomes evident that the builders sought to simulate the lateral stresses that chevrons deep within the Great Pyramid might experience. By incorporating chevrons of different sizes and inclinations in the entrance vault, the builders could observe how these variables affected the structure under lateral forces. The leaning chevrons in the entrance vault were not meant to be used in the final construction of the pyramid, but rather provided an easily accessible means to apply horizontal force for testing purposes. The oversized lintels protecting the descending corridor between the entrance vault serve as a precautionary measure. In the event of a catastrophic collapse of the entrance vault, these lintels would safeguard the corridor from damage. Placing the entrance vault experiment in this location was advantageous because it aligned with the pyramid's corridor axis, where oversized blocks were regularly delivered and maneuvered. Additionally, if repairs were required in the case of an entrance vault failure, the outer section of the pyramid next to the entrance would provide the most accessible location for conducting repairs until the pyramid's completion. Perspectives and clues to the Great Pyramid's purpose. Architect Jean-Pierre Houdin and Egyptologists like Mark Lehner offer different perspectives on the purpose of the Scan Pyramid's corridor and the entrance vault. Houdin's theory of an internal construction ramp does not account for the inward-leaning chevrons or provide a satisfactory explanation for the notched tympanum. Lehner's suggestion of a weight-relieving space faces challenges, as previous pyramids have demonstrated sufficient load support with large lintels. Drawing inspiration from Gillies Dormiant's exploration of the Midim Pyramid, the Scan Pyramids team has obtained the physical dimensions of the corridor for further analysis. The width and ceiling design plays a crucial role in determining its purpose. A narrow corridor with a flat lintel ceiling would exclude it as a relieving space, while a wider corridor with a corbel or saddle vault ceiling would support the weight-relieving hypothesis. The precise location and height of the corridor provide additional clues. If it ends below the accessible area of the entrance vault, it weakens the weight-relieving hypothesis. Conversely, if it ends behind the chevrons with its floor near the notched tympanum, it supports the idea. The corridor's height also indicates its function, with a low height suggesting security measures and a taller height indicating construction access. While the exact length of the Scan Pyramid's corridor remains uncertain, its minimum length is estimated at 5 meters. However, muon detection may not be optimal for corridor-sized spaces, and additional corridors behind the blockage may not be detectable. Despite these uncertainties, the Scan Pyramid's corridor remains an intriguing piece of the puzzle in unraveling the construction secrets of the Great Pyramid. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Remember to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share the video.